What's going on, guys, it's Turi here and welcome back to another video. Now, before we start this new series, I must say that this is a personal selection and it's based on some criteria like stats, skills and versatility in every game content we have right now in Bleach Brave Souls. So without further ado, let's go to position number 5. And in this position we have Halloweeny Yoruichi. Even though she's over 1 year old, she has still a very good attack and a boosted soul trait. She has also a ranker killer, which is one of the best in the game. And she has not only a very good attack, but also her strongs are very useful, because she has paralysis on each of them and even a special move. Now let's talk about her skills. She has Sprinter and Long Stride, meaning she is really fast and fun to play with. Then she has a 40% Bruiser and a 30% Berserker, which make her a good hybrid character, and on top of that she has Debilitator, which makes her paralysis effects last longer. Let's see her gameplay now. So as you can see, especially full screen and inflicts paralysis. Her third strong is not full screen but has still a good range, but what is incredibly good on this Yoruichi is her second strong, which is a 25 hits moving vortex that can inflict debilitating paralysis. Her first strong is a lunge and her normal string has an average speed and range. Overall, this Yoruichi, thanks to his attack, moving vortex and paralysis, is still really good for guild quests, for auto in inheritance zones and for some common levels. Now let's go to position number 4. In this position we have another Halloweeny character, I'm talking about Rilke. Now some of you might argue that there are better and newer characters, but there are some reasons why I put her on this list, and one of them is her killer. She is the first no-affiliation killer we have in the game, at least for that attribute, and she has also a good SP and a very good soul trait. On top of that, she has weakening on everything, and since she has Frenzy, their chance to inflict weaken are double. And with Debilitator, her weaken is going to last longer, giving you the opportunity to inflict more damage. She has also freeze resistance, which comes in handy for co-op or common floors. Let's see her gameplay now. She has a full screen special which inflicts weaken. She has not a full screen third strong attack, but her second is a lunge and has a very good range. She has also an increased mag on her first strong attack, meaning she deals more damage if she hits the enemies. Her normal string is good, even though it's quite average. Overall, thanks to her killer, weaken on everything and her freeze resistance, she is really good for guild quests, co-op and common floors. Now let's move to position number 3. In this position we have the new Toshiro. He has the second highest SP in the game and is the first character with the 25% full stamina damage. He can also inflict freeze on every attack, but is second strong, which is a barrier. And speaking of barriers, this Toshiro starts every quest with 10 barriers, which is really an advantage both in PvP and PvE. He has Frenzy, meaning all his strong attacks hit twice, and on top of that he has Debilitator, which combined with Freeze on almost everything make this character very deadly in every event you use him. Let's see his gameplay. As you can see, he is specially full screen and inflicts freeze, just like his third strong attack. His second strong gives this Toshiro 3 more barriers and 1 to the whole team. His first strong is a beam that has very good range and whip. His normal string is fast and has a good range, meaning you can attack from distance without the risk of being hit by the enemies. Overall, this Toshiro has a great SP with Frenzy and Debilitator. He has a good killer and he starts every quest with barriers, which means that he is useful not only for co-op in general, but also for PvP. Let's get to position number 2. In this position we have True Bankai Ichigo. He really deserves this place since he has one of the highest SP in the game, a very good soul trait and the most useful killer. But this Ichigo has also another peculiarity. In fact, his second strong not only is a team boost, but also transform him for 10 seconds, increasing his mag on every attack. And since he has the Enhancer skill, he can stay always in his boosted form if you build in full recharge time. And he has also Frenzy, meaning all his strong attacks hit twice, dealing an insane amount of damage to all enemies. On top of that, he has Paralysis and Weakened Immunity, making this Ichigo really good not only for PvE but also for PvP. Let's talk about his gameplay now. His special is full screen, and even though he has no status assignment, it still deals a very good damage, just like his third strong attack, which is also full screen. As we already said, his second strong boosts him and his team and transforms him for 10 seconds. His first strong is a lunge with a good range. And finally, his normal string has a good range and is very fast, especially when he is in his boosted form. Overall, this Ichigo is really good for everything, being it an inheritance zone, as a camouflage, a PvP battle, and even for epic raids as your team boost. Ichigo is one of the best characters in the game. Now, before we get to number 1, I know some of you may disagree with this list, and of course I may be wrong. This is just my personal opinion. And I know there are many good characters that didn't make it on this list for a reason or another, just like Tire Team Renji, Christmas Nemu, Uryu, Kaname and many others. I just thought that these characters were outdated or outmatched by the ones that are on the list. Sure, all of them are really good and useful. So let's get to position number 1. And here we have Yashiro Unohana. This character is really amazing. Although she is over 1 year old, she is still one of the highest attack in the game. She has a 16 damage reduction salt rate and a Captain Killer, which comes in handy in PvP. She has also 2 healing moves, one over second strong attack and one over special. And speaking of special, not only it heals all your team members, but it also have a 5% chance to insta-kill your enemies. Add to this Poise, which means all of your attacks cannot be interrupted, and Flurry, which means your normal attack hits twice, and you'll have a monster in every type of event you've been using her. So let's see her gameplay now. Bankai Minazuki Zakyou wa kore nite oshimai. As you've seen, her special inflicts damage while healing her and her whole team. Her third strong is full screen and has a very fast activation time, and since she has Poise, she can be interrupted, but she can interrupt all the other characters that haven't got Poise. Her second heals everyone and has a good range and activation time. Her first is a lunge that helps her to reduce the gap between you and the enemies. And finally, she has insane range and speed on her normal string. And since she has Flurry, she hits twice, dealing an incredible amount of damage in a short time. Does she really need an overall evaluation? She has everything you need on a character except for a status ailment. All of her attacks are very fast and have a very good range. She can heal all team members while insta-killing the enemies at the same time. She is perfect for PvP and for autoing inheritance zone. And she is also useful for epic raids and co-op in general. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you liked this new series. Leave a like if you did and subscribe for more. Stay tuned and see you on the next one. Bye!